in spite of how this person was acting. Have you ever been able to sense another person's presence before you actually heard or saw this person? That goes into like when you about to call somebody and they call you, like damn nigga, I was just calling you. Or when you think about somebody and they call you. And for me, when I'm going through this path, bro, like I've had some very spooky fucking moments, bro. And I was like, bro, I ain't seen my nigga Myron in a minute. Lo and behold, like, and within a week, that nigga called me like, hey, bro, I'm coming out to Houston. Hey, well, let's try to link up and shit. I'm like, damn, bro, I just thought about you. And this was like right when I was first getting into this, like right when I was getting these books and shit like that, like when I first was getting into this shit. So it was just like little synchronicity, just like that, like damn, bro. Like, damn, bro. Synchronicity just happened crazy. Like, or you talk about somebody and they walk in the room. Like, it's a reason they like came up, like, but nobody pay attention to it. Like, why did we want to talk about this person? Why are we talking about this person now? Obviously, they on the way, type shit. But we don't notice things like that. But it's not always like that. But they might call or anything, type shit. Do certain sounds, colors, frequency make you feel comfortable, uncomfortable? Nostalgia. The reason why nostalgia does that, for instance, when say you have a teddy bear or a favorite blanket, your aura field gets attached to that blanket to where your aura is now in that blanket. So say if you die, your dog always goes to that blanket or whatever, like period. Like anything like that can recognize your aura will hold on to those things, like period. Like for people that keep stuff from the dead, like their aura was on that shit, so they still feel their presence. It gives them nostalgia. They can still feel them because when we talk about our spirit being left here, that's our aura being left here because period. Like our aura technically is a part of this physical thing. It's a part of like it's light, it's all these energies, like that's physical thing. So that's one of our physical part of our physical body type shit. So that's one of the things we leave here. Like believe it or not, we probably have a different aura field and all the other shit, but I'm just saying here is a certain aura field that we was meant to have and certain shit like that. Period. And that's how you go through certain experiences and things like that, depending on how your aura is. Your aura is really what attracts you to these certain experiences. So you gotta think about it like this. So say you have a bubble of different things going on and you're in the center of it. Say they all just around you. The aura of these different worlds around you, like the one that you end up going to is depending on the attraction of your aura and the aura, the core of that aura versus the core of your aura. Like all of the auras you might fuck with all of them. That's why they even surrounding you and you can even see them in your vicinity. But is one gonna have a different core or foundation or something that really sticks to you that you fuck with that world more than any other world? Same with women, same with a job, same with any relationships. There's going to be a bunch of people. You got a bunch of friends, but there's one friend that's more bestie than anybody else. Why? Because it's something in them that's deeper than, not necessarily deeper than anybody else's, but y'all go deeper than any other connection with your friends. Y'all got deep connections probably with any, like if you was to meet a different, just a random pedestrian or person, y'all don't have any deep connection. Y'all might have a shallow connection. Y'all might like the same team or some shit. Like it goes very shallow. But basically, like your friends, you got immediate friends and all these different things, and you got closer friends and like it just extends off your aura and how close. And I look at it like this. Look at two comparison charts. I forgot what them charts used to be called when we used to do them in the kid, where you got two circles and they interlock. Do I have a pen over here? Y'all know what I'm talking about. No pen, I got paper, I got a color book. Basically like this. Y'all know this shit. Alright, both y'all auras combined, and that little shit in the middle is really what keep y'all connected. Like, period. Put another circle in that motherfucker. That little core, that's what keep y'all connected more than anything. You can keep adding circles and circles, and like that's how you get communities and shit. There's like all y'all got y'all different goals and outcomes. Like, look at all that different space for you. That's just, you're different from these other things. Y'all all got y'all different space. And even when you connect with this circle, y'all got y'all reasons y'all connect more than why you connect with that person. And then they got their own two reasons why they connect. Like, then there's a reason why all three of them connect. And that's why they come together. And that's how you build communities and shit like that. And they branch off. Basically this. We learned this shit in school. Similarities and comparisons and all that shit and differences. Like, it's the same shit. These are the things that make y'all different. These are the things that make y'all the same. And these two circles might be the same for certain reasons. These two might connect for same reasons. Like, it's that simple. And that's auras. That's your energy. That's how y'all build relationships. That's how you meet people. That's why you stay connected with people. Like, period. And some people y'all can't ever connect with, and it's like when two sides of a magnet. Like, it's not enough balance with it. It's just completely oneness, and like even then, that's a whole nother topic. I'm gonna leave that alone. So I can already see myself going somewhere. All right. Influence upon weak and strong auras. If you have a weakened aura, you're liable to influence by other forces. This is where I talk about manipulation. I don't believe in manipulation. The only reason you're being manipulated because you're fucking weak. If you were strong, the only thing you'll fuck with is shit you choose to fuck with. It wouldn't be no luring out and shit like this. Why? Because you grow your own food. You ain't out here searching. But that's also I'm reaching with that point. But I'm gonna leave it alone. But basically, when I talk about manipulation, it all stems from you. And if you were smart enough, you wouldn't be able to be manipulated. If you were strong enough, if you had enough, like if your foundation was big enough, you wouldn't have to rely and be tricked and scammed on other people. But what you're looking at is basically the penetration of the aura. This aura is weak, fragile. It don't have a strong foundation. It don't have a strong border. Like versus this one is strong in its foundation. And the things that's trying to penetrate it just can't get in versus these other ones getting hit from all different ways. So this might answer my friend, this might answer Decal, or me and Decal question when we was talking about life being a curse and I always feeling like inconveniences pop up. It depends on how strong our aura is, but even then, it's not gonna be unpenetrable, like period, just because we in this world. Like unless somebody can show me different, but I just know for a fact that's period. We poke holes in our own aura so we can refix them. So that's why I'm like, it's not necessarily even sometimes outside forces. It's sometimes we do it ourselves because we poke holes to expand type shit. Like it's the same as when I talk about fermentation in my last one. I had to cut up shit a certain way so shit to fit in with the certain points that I was making. But same with fermentation, like you gotta leave the cap open just a little bit to let the shit rise and find this, level or whatever that it wants to. So same with our aura. We might poke a little hole in it to, so we can fluctuate. Osmosis, I believe. I keep saying it, but I'm not sure if that's the right word. But this book got different things where you can feel auras. Like, for instance, I used to do this all the time, bro. You just rub your hands for 15, 20 seconds, and then you can basically feel like the ball in between your hands, and your hands won't touch, and the more you do it, the more you feel the ball start to form, and they call this chi and stuff like that. But this also, you can also just call it your aura. I ain't did it in a minute, but I can feel it shaping. And it makes me always think of like Dragon Ball Z and shit like that. That's what they do, they little hand movements and they little shit like that. But the Kai and all that shit. All right, man. Let's finish some of these. Do electrical storms, thunderstorm make you feel nervous or edgy? Do you find some people that excite or energize you more than others? And that goes to if you're around people you really fuck with versus people you just work with. Like people at work with, they might can give you sparks of energy, especially because people at work with can become your friends. But for the most part, if you already had friends, they won't do the job they won't get the job done like your other friends will. And then there's certain friends that's not even it's certain people that's not even your friends. Those people are just funny people to be around. Like, you always gonna be excited to be around them because their energy, their aura is just so grand, bro. It don't matter who they're around. They always trying to bring joy or make people laugh. Sometimes it's malicious to just make themselves feel better, but that's a whole different, that probably, when you're around them, you probably feel bad all the time. You don't want to be around them. When you see them, they're like, oh, here go this nigga. But versus, even when people do it, talk about you, but it's not malicious, it's like in a funny way where we all talking about each other type shit. And that goes into some people, that's just how they aura are. When you're around that person, you just freer because that person's like not judgmental and shit like that. So you're excited to be around that person because it's not like being around your parents where everything you do, everything you don't do is wrong. That shit funny. Everything you do and everything you don't do, you're wrong. You don't give a fuck. Judgment coming from everywhere. Do you find, okay, have you ever walked into a room where, have you ever walked into a room and tightened up or fidgeted or felt angry? Do some rooms make you want to leave or stay? That's depending on the aura of the room and what's already being presented. So for instance, this happens all the time with my friends or any group of friends because when somebody outside comes in, they don't look the right. Like for instance, me and my boy Mal used to always argue. We arguing, but we agreeing with each other through argument. Like, no bullshit. So technically it was a debate, but it's always passionate, so it ended up looking like an argument. His mama always walk into, not always, but his mama walk into the room like, why are y'all arguing? And it's like, if you was in the room, you'd have like been a part of the aura, you'd have been a part of us negotiating and talking and figuring out certain shit. So you see that it's really a debate that's just getting hella heated in the sense of it's a lot of shit, not friction, but we're hitting a lot of points. So every time we hit a point, there's more heat because that's just, we're getting into it. Like we're going deeper and deeper and deeper, we're closer to the core. So think of it like a planet. Like the closer to the core, the hotter it get. So we keep hitting points, we keep hitting certain goals of digging into the core, and it gets hotter and hotter. So eventually, if somebody was to walk into that room and like, damn, why y'all arguing with each other? Why y'all cussing each other out? And like, nah, like we saying nigga, bitch, all this shit, because it's helping us be more passionate. Like it's almost like sex. Like when you're in the heat of the moment, you can slap somebody on the ass. Bobby Hemmitt talk about this all the time. You can spank and do all these other things. Same when you're in a good ass argument, a good ass conversation with somebody you truly kind of care about or certain things. Like you're allowed to push the envelope because I guess we bringing certain shit out when we hit these certain emotions and mix with the logic. Like we're doing both. Like we're rising both sides equally. Like we're passionate, and that passion is what you need with those debates, because it's not, oh, I'm just arguing just to argue, it sounds good, it sounds fun. Like, nah, we really trying to figure shit out. And the more we keep digging, the more passionate we get about it, because it's like we're closer to the goal type shit. And that's the best way to kind of explain it. But when people walk into those rooms, they don't necessarily understand what's going on because they just wasn't a part of it, at least while I was manifesting at the time. But if they stay in the room, they'll understand that heat and that passion over time, which has happened when shit be like, so what are y'all even talking about? And we'll start breaking it down. We was talking about feminine and masculine energies and why the feminine do this more than the masculine. And we're just getting into that bag. And she's like, okay. She start listening to all this thing. And she realized we're not arguing. That happens with all the time, like for in the podcast and shit. I'm like, we might be arguing and shit, but it's like, I gotta get to that bag, so I that's just my way of bringing my shit out. And that's the same, especially with men, we bring our shit out through aggression and shit like that, and it's weird, it looks strange, and if y'all not really friendly and shit like that, it can come out very harmful and other things like that. So you gotta watch who you're around, watch who your space is, because certain people, if their aura's not as strong as yours, when y'all arguing, debating, when I'm wrong, I'm like, okay, well, let me figure out this, and we talk from there. And all right, if you're wrong, you talk from there. That's if y'all both got strong arguments and y'all fix and y'all go accordingly from off of that. It's not, oh, I'm wrong, you made me feel like a bitch or pussy in front of all these other people we talking in front of. Like, nah, nigga, you're not gonna always be right. So type shit. So it just kind of depend on how strong your aura is. If you know your foundation is always built off righteousness, or always trying to do the shit the best, just to the best of your ability, even if it come out flawed, you won't be necessarily mad when somebody tell you it's flawed. It's like, okay, I understand that. I'm not perfect. Like I say that all the time. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to hold up this illusion of perfection. So you can say shit to me, but I'm not fragile. Like I'm not going to be trying, because you got to be fragile trying to hold up perfection. I don't care what you talk about. Period. You're gonna be hella sensitive. But whatever. Went on a little tangent. Working on my level up. I've been working on my level up again. Working on my level up. I've been working on my level up. I'm just reading, guys. But this one, I think this book taught me about when you sleep on the side of people, that's how y'all merge energies. And that makes sense to me, bro. I don't get how it wouldn't, but you're literally like always next to this person. And when you're going into your deep stages of self, they're on the side of you, going into deep stages of themselves. And y'all literally low-key probably be helping each other go into those states without even knowing it. Why? Because same with like when, okay, I fall asleep, now she's sleepy. Or she's sleepy, now I'm sleepy. Why? Because some effect that she has on me, obviously. Like some people don't notice little things like that. Well, every time I get sleepy, my girlfriend's sleepy. Every time she gets sleepy, I get sleepy. So imagine how deeper those effects go when you are sleepy. Or sleeping, I mean. What's up, man? And this is breaking down colors and shit. Strengthening and protecting your aura.